So for Jordan Brand, it's no secret by now that the big money makers at the forefront of the brand would happen to be their retro catalog, which they've cooked up this recipe for success, which includes OGs, original models. You also got collaborations, as well as new colorways of some of your favorite Jordan retro classics. Now, as far as this year's lineup, it was absolutely stacked. So my guess is that coming up for next year, Jordan Brand, they're gonna keep that momentum rolling, which it looks like we have some new dates, which have loaded. All of these come courtesy of Z Sneakerheads and Sneaker File. So we're gonna take a look at a little 2026 lineup preview for Jordan Brand, which we're not gonna get into everything dropping, but more so just the new dates. That way you guys can plan accordingly. So to kick things off, let's go ahead and start with the latest leak, as it looks like coming up holiday 2026, we can look forward to the Jordan 4 Pink Thunder release in a woman's exclusive color, which this one right here is going to be a nice pair for the ladies. It continues the Thunder theme, which Jordan Brand hit us with the black and yellow joints originally. Let's not forget, we also had the Red Thunder as well as the White Thunder. So as far as these Pink Thunders, definitely going to be a hot one for the ladies. Set to drop holiday 2026, which so far what we know of, we got Bread 4s coming holiday 2026, as well as Space Jam. So lineup is definitely lining up to be real nice, I must say so. Now, keeping things rolling, we also have the Jordan 10 Sacramento, also expected to return holiday 2026. So things are getting better and better. This is a shoe which originally we saw drop as part of the Jordan 10 series cities pack, I guess they would call it the city series, my fault, which included the Chicago joints for the Bulls. You also had the Seattle Supersonics, New York Knicks, got the Orlando Magic, and then of course the Sacramento pair right here, which not to be confused with a Mitch Richmond. He was an old guard who used to play for the Kings. Not that pair, which he had a PE. But these are definitely nice, man. And the fact that we haven't seen these drop since the original 95 release, I would say this is definitely going to be a sought after pair, one that a lot of people are looking forward to. When you talk about Jordan 10s, this year we had some nice pairs hit the lineup, which included the Jordan 10 Steel. We also had the Shadow pair. So for next year, they're going to keep that momentum rolling with the Sacramento 10s right here. Joints are looking real nice, I must say so myself. Now, as far as some new dates which have updated here, it looks like you guys can look forward to the Jordan 5 Wolf Gray, which is now expected to return February 28th in full family sizing. So this one looks like it's going to be one of the big Jordan retros to kind of kick off the lineup for 2026. We originally saw this pair drop back in 2011, so this is one of those ones, right? When you talk about new Jordan colors, I feel like the ultimate sign of love is for Jordan Brand to retro one of these pairs, right? It's not an original release, but a new colorway that was so popular, Jordan Brand had to run these back, which when these originally dropped, I would say I wasn't the biggest fan, but now looking back on it, these have aged real nice. Color blocking solid with the full suede, whatever material you want to call on the upper. Icy blue soles, good little 23 on the heel. This is one for people that had nostalgia for when that show originally dropped, but regardless, even if you don't, still a good looking pair of fives, which have had a great year as Jordan Brand celebrating the lineup, the anniversary this year. So heading into next year, another great pair of fives to look forward to. Now, we also got a release update as expected February of 2026. Again, one of the big collaborations, first big collabs for 2026. We got the Union Jordan 1 High, but they're also throwing in that little fragment touch into the mix, which I'm not even gonna lie, is just gonna make this shoe even that more sought after. These are gonna be dropping right around the same time, kind of like the Unions that dropped this year. One of Jordan Brand's premier collaborators, but again, you're throwing in that little fragment into the mix, which to make matters even worse, it's looking like these could even be potentially regional exclusive. And when we talk about regional, we're not talking about like a pair which might drop on the West Coast, some on the East Coast, but actually worldwide regional exclusive. So if I had to guess, I would probably say that these red and blue joints may be the US pair, but out of all three of these, I would say probably these Royals would be my favorite of the pack. Comment down below, let me know which is your favorite out of the upcoming Union Fragment Jordan 1 High pack, expected to release February of 2026. We'll see how that one goes down. Now, keeping things pushing here, we got to look at the Tiana Taylor Air Jordan 3, which she's back again. You guys remember she hit us with the Jordan 1 Rose and Harlems. It looks like she's keeping that same theme rolling with this pair right here, which does contain a removable plastic rose with thorns that wrap around the sneakers. Now, of course, this is just a mock-up image, right? But from what we know so far, it looks like these will feature some type of a gum bottom, maybe a black upper with some hits of green and red. So for this pair, I'm optimistic about it. When you talk about Tiana Taylor, She's been doing her thing. This year, we didn't get any collaborations to follow up from her first pair of Jordan 1s, but it looks like she's back again, and we'll see what these look like as they are expected to drop March 4th for 2026. So let's see what else do we got. We talked about these lake shows yesterday. Pictured here, we have a GS size, which is the first official look. So now it's not a mock-up. We know exactly what these are going to be looking like. And with All-Star Weekend set to go down in LA for 2026, this is a nice addition, which apparently we're supposed to get some type of soft launch and then a wider release, as these are expected to drop March 7th in full family sizing. And not only does the shoe look good, it's a new colorway of a Jordan Classic with a Lakers theme, but you also got the old school OG retro MJ face box coming back, as well as a little black hang tag with the yellow font on it. So real nice touch for these. And then also expected in March, actually on the 28th, we got the return of the Off-White Jordan 1s, which are going to be rebranded as the Virgil Abloh Archive Air Jordan 1 High, which we do have a look at the special box, which I've never had a pair of these Off-White Jordan 1s, but as far as the box, I think they're bringing something new to the table here. I think this is a box or a design that, you know, was featured on some of the past Off-White releases, but I believe the first time we're going to see a Jordan 1 come like this. So I'm still on the fence about these. Really, I could care less about these. I never, owned any of the Off-White Jordan 1s. And coming up in 2026, I could really care less about these. But I know a lot of people got a lot of love for this shoe right here, which my guess, this is probably going to be one of those ones which is going to be damn near impossible to get your hands on. Think of like the Travis Scott fragments and how tough that was to get. But regardless, going to be one of the early collaborations, which is definitely going to make a lot of noise here in the sneaker world. And with Nike, Jordan Brand revisiting, these Off-White releases with the Virgil Abloh Archive, I'm just excited to see, what other pairs we could possibly see release. Some that maybe they could bring me on board. We'll see how it goes, man. But as far as this pair, not too excited about it. But we've definitely seen some really cool unreleased Off-White samples, which, like I said, could bring me on board to the hype train. We'll see how things go. But for now, these are cool or whatever. Now, we got the biggest name probably this year when you talk about Jordan Brand collaborations, Nigel Sylvester. We had the Brick by Bricks. We had the Better With Time, Jordan 1 lows, and he's going to keep that momentum rolling with the release of these Jordan 4s, which kind of play off the Fire Red 4s. We did see these previewed as a showcase, right before the Brick by Bricks dropped, which, of course, people are going to go nuts, based off Nigel's catalog, the hype that his name brings with Jordan Brand. You got the bike air on the back heel, which these are nice and all that, but I'm gonna say right off the bat, these are not gonna live up to the Brick by Bricks, right? So it'll be interesting, right? Because I know this is not the only thing that we got coming from Nigel. So this will be a cool little warm up, I feel like, which I will probably get a banger, like something huge from Nigel slated for the fall. So stay tuned for more details on that one, but people will definitely be going nuts as these are gonna be dropping right ahead of the summer. Set for a May 9th release date, which I did also want to mention. All of these dates, of course, are subject to change. You guys already know that. Next up here, we got the Jordan 1 Band Low OG set to release May 16th. So a nice little summertime banger. Definitely a lot of people will be looking forward to these with the whole history of the band, all that good stuff. There's going to be a low top version of the highs, which we saw drop years back. A release which made a lot of noise due to its unconventional release method, as Jordan Brand Nike actually released these exclusively at outlets, which was kind of crazy. I think it would be cool for them to bring that back, but we'll see how things goes. Apparently this is a sample version, but expect the retail release to probably look very similar to it. So stay tuned for more details on that. Scheduled to drop May 16th. Now we got an interesting one here, the Free the Youth Jordan 16, which Free the Youth, this is gonna be their first time collaborating with Jordan Brand. They're a cool little collective, art collective, which drops some cool pieces here and there. But as far as the 16, a classic which maybe doesn't get as much love, right? As most people go for the models 1 through 14, but I'm excited to see Jordan Brand tap into the 15s. We've already been seeing them doing something with the 17s. 16s are dope as well. And apparently we're supposed to get some 18s as well. I'm just waiting for Jordan Brand to hit us with some 20s. But these are interesting. Again, mock-up image. Colors are kind of wild, but we'll see how it all comes together when we actually see what the finished product actually looks like. And then lastly, we got another classic here returning. I guess you could call this one a classic. It's not an OG, but we haven't seen these drop since, I think, 05, 06. I remember when these originally dropped. We got the Jordan 5 Black University Blue. So once again, new colorway, but actually gonna be retroed for the very first time, which I feel like is the ultimate sign that these were hot when they originally dropped. Anytime you got a black UNC blue colorway, it's usually, you know, a big hit with Jordan Brand fans, and these are just cool. I like the stitching, exposed kind of look. It all comes together to create a dope looking shoe right here. So another great pair of 5s, man. So just a little preview of what you guys can look forward to for the Jordan Brand 2026 lineup. Some new dates which have updated. Looks like these ones are going to be dropping mid-summertime. So plan accordingly, y'all. Not only do we got those dates, but the newest update, of course, would be your Pink Thunders, as well as the Sacramento 10s, which so far, Jordan Brand 2026 lineup starting to come together. Maybe not able to touch what we saw this year as they celebrated the 40th anniversary, but not even gonna lie, lineup is definitely looking nice. A little mix up of some OGs. Can we consider these an OG, right? Because they did drop from the initial run back in 95. You know, a mix of some real cool collaborations, as well as some new colorways of some of your favorite Jordan retro classics. So JATV, I'll be checking in with you guys later for the latest sneaker news updates. We got to get into today's releases, all that good stuff, the latest leaks. So tune in later on this evening. If you guys aren't subscribed, come along for the journey, hit that subscribe button. If you enjoyed this update, smash the like button, and I'll catch you guys later on, man. Stay safe, stay blessed. I'm out. Love.